Hi everyone, Ed here, and today I thought I'd just put together a quick video for you guys of me on the Assetto Corsa Drift Junkies server. It's one of the most popular servers on Assetto Corsa for drifting. It's hosted by some really cool guys, and there's usually one or two pretty good drifters on there, so we end up having some nice tandems. So I thought to myself, I've been on there for a little while, and I've been drifting with this guy here called Hoonigans, and we've been putting some really good tandems in. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick the GoPro on and start some recordings and see if I can get some footage for you guys. Now, to start with, I didn't really know what sort of stuff I'd want to be talking to you guys about, but I thought what I could do is just go through what's going through my mind as I'm doing this, and hopefully give a few tips and tricks to those of you who are interested. Although this isn't really going to be something for you beginners. If any of you want a guide or something on how to drift, you know, there's plenty of that stuff out there, but this is just going to be a few high level tips, what's going through my mind, and what sort of small techniques I'm doing that I might be able to draw your attention to that you might not see otherwise. So anyway, let's get on with it. I've already started rolling a clip here. We're going to get into the next one here, where I get into some follow runs behind Hoonigans here once I convince him that he needs to go in front of me. So here we're gonna just get going, and I'm gonna slowly reel Hoonigans in. Now, something actually I wanted to touch on first is that it's important not to lunge at the person in front of you. It's a common mistake that people make, is that they come into the drift a lot quicker than the person in front of them in an effort to close the gap between you, because when you're tandeming with someone, you want to make sure that you're as close as possible to them. That's the objective. Now, as you can see here, I've got a little bit of a gap, and what you want to just make sure of is that as you close that gap, either by lowering your angle or maybe taking a slightly tighter line than the person in front of you, as you're doing that, you make sure you use a bit of left foot braking, possibly handbrake if you need to adjust your line, just to make sure you reel them in nice and slowly and smoothly. I nearly said smoothly then. So you just want to be slow and smooth in the way that you reel someone in as you're coming in behind them. There's a good example here. I just backed off a little bit so that I didn't get right on his door straight away, and then slowly adjusted myself so that I could get right onto his door. And then from there, once you're right up against someone, it's all about just making small adjustments and using left foot braking, mainly using left foot braking in order to avoid hitting them as much as you can. It's another good thing as well, is on this track in particular, there's that sort of side to side bit before you go into the big right hander. That's a good opportunity to sort of check up and make sure that you're coming into the big corner in a good position. So if the person in front of you is doing the sort of left to right transition, you might want to grip up out of this slow corner here, and then as you're coming down a straight, just make sure that you're ready to go. Now, I'm quite confident behind Hoonigan, so I was still drifting behind him as we were going down there, and then making my adjustments through the big corner as we came through there to make sure that I was on his door. But if there's someone that I've been tandeming with that I'm not quite as confident with, and I'm not as confident in their ability to lead, which I will get into shortly, then I will sort of straighten up and make sure I give myself space so that I can follow them properly into the big corner. Okay, so what I'm doing now is leading in front of Hoonigans. Now, we'd already got pretty comfortable with each other by now, so he was actually really pushing the boundaries, and he was really nudging me as I was coming around the corner. He was trying to get that close that he ended up hitting me a few times. Now, that's okay, because our speeds were quite equal, so he didn't really knock me offline or spin me out in particular. But what I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing is that I'm just as consistent and as smooth as possible in my lead run. You've got to be really confident in your ability to get around the course reliably and smoothly. If you end up making any big adjustments, like using the brakes or having to use the handbrake to adjust your line, then you're going to slow down quite a lot very quickly. And if someone's right behind you, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to notice that, and then there's human reaction time added in on top of the amount of time it actually takes them to read you changing speed. And then once all that time's added up, they've then got a massive speed differential between you, who's just been slowing down for the past half a second, and them, who's been speeding up trying to catch up to you so that they can tandem with you, and you will end up colliding. So the most important thing is to just make sure that you're smooth and consistent when you're leading, and I'm trying my best to do that for Hoonigans now. And obviously he was confident enough in my ability as well that he could get really close. If I do need to make any adjustments, like I did there, I was on a very shallow line, so I just used my foot brake. I just did a little bit of left foot braking while I was at full throttle, just to sort of bring the front end in a little bit and gain a little bit more angle so that I could wash out into the corner, because I needed to adjust my line. Now if I had lifted off and handbraked in order to adjust my line, then I would have slowed down a lot more than what I did there. And oh yeah, I like this bit where Hoonigans goes for an amazing overtake, and that would have been so good, but unfortunately he goes off there. So yeah, just if you're leading, then the best thing to do is just to make sure that you are consistent and smooth, and any adjustments that you make are minimal. And really, you've just got to be really confident and consistent in your driving in order to do that. There's no two ways about it, really. Okay, so now I can't remember who it is, but there's someone who's joined us, and Hoonigans is following him, so I have decided to join in and make this a 3-man tandem. Now, when you're the third man in a tandem and you are behind 2 other people who are getting quite close, who are maybe making a few adjustments, you've got to allow a little bit of an extra gap compared to the person in front of you and how much gap they're leaving to the first person. So I'm leaving a bit of extra gap, and once I can see that they're being a bit more consistent, then I'm trying to reel them in a little bit more. But because Hoonigans is having to make adjustments himself in order to tandem with the guy in front, I am then having to make an adjustment again in order to adjust for his adjustments. So because of all that, it means that it's adding that sort of human error time that I was talking about before, and it's just something you've got to bear in mind. And so if you're behind a couple of people and you're in a tandem with a few people, then just leave a bit of extra gap, leave a bit more margin for error, and just try and be a bit more considerate to the people in front of you, so you don't end up causing a pile up. So anyway, we're back to leading here, and again, like I was saying before, just trying to be consistent and smooth. And really, I just wanted to wrap up the video with you guys here and just ask you guys what sort of stuff you wanted to see from me on Assetto Corsa. I'm all up for suggestions and comments. If any of you guys are interested in hearing any more from me personally, then there is actually a Discord for the Drift Junkies server, and if I'm online and I'm in there, then feel free to jump into the voice chat with me and ask me any questions in there. I'll see if I can get Kevin to stick in a link to the Discord into the description of this video, so that if you guys are interested in learning anything or getting in contact with me in particular about drifting and any questions you may have, then by all means, it's cool with me if you want to have a chat. Oh yeah, there's something else actually that I wanted to just show in this bit. We make a few mistakes, there's a few issues happening, and I just want you guys to just notice that we like to flash our lights at each other. It's something that I've noticed that a lot of people do now, is that instead of pulling over and stopping and typing into the box, or my bad, or sorry didn't mean to do that, or whatever you wanted to say, most people now understand that you could just flash your lights a bit. And I think I do that a few times here, because I make a few mistakes. It's a bit rubbish. I think here, look, I flash my lights and you can see Hoonigan's flashing his lights behind, just acknowledging that I've said sorry. And it's like, it's alright mate, I understand, happens to the best of us. Everyone spins out every now and then. So yeah, that's a cool thing. If you start getting familiar with someone, then try that out. See if you do make a mistake, just flash your lights at them and then carry on. And then usually they'll just acknowledge that as a my bad, sorry about that, and you guys can carry on and keep having fun, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all about having some good fun. So anyway guys, that's probably a wrap to my ramblings. I'll leave you guys with the end of this clip, and you can enjoy a few more tandems with me and Hoonigans, and hopefully there'll be a bit more of this from me real soon. Thank you very much.